And good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to Undercover ET. Folks, thank you so much for yesterday. All the support in the comments, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. We miss him like hell, and it shows that you guys have shared the pain in the past. So let's just go through this together. Thank you very much. I'm just so grateful for your support, and that's what it's all about, really. It's about supporting each other and getting us through some rough and interesting times, you could say. Stuff that we're not used to, right? Anyway, talking about stuff that we're not used to, Bank of England is talking about UAP disclosure in America. They're talking about how the markets could collapse, and potentially they need to consider the fact that NHI exists. So we're going to look at an article written from the Independent regarding that, and we're also going to go into a UFO clip recently taken out of Barkshire, England. That's exactly where I'm from. So really interesting. Obviously I've moved to the southwest now. I'm originally from Maidenhead, Berkshire, and yeah, we've managed to get a sighting from that area. So brilliant stuff. We're going to look deeply at that one. And also, you guys may have heard about the Doomsday Clock. They do it every year, right? They tell you the Doomsday Clock, right? It's kind of in the name. Doomsday Clock, the closer to 12 o'clock it gets, the more doomier we should expect things to get, right? And it's gone from 90 seconds to midnight to 85 seconds to midnight. I'm going to let you know what the Doomsday Clock is all about, and basically we're going to give you what I believe the interpretation should be, the correct interpretation of the Doomsday Clock should be. So we're going to look at that, and that's going to be over on X. Without further ado, guys, please like and subscribe. As always, we do need your support. Support the public's evidence, support disclosure. Let's go. Alright guys, this is from the Independent. Bank of England must plan for a financial crisis triggered by aliens, says former policy expert. Financial markets could collapse if the American government confirms the existence of alien life. And this is written by Rebecca Thomas on Sunday the 18th of January 2026. So a few days back. Okay, so it says here the UK must plan for financial crisis that would be triggered if the US government announces that aliens exist, a former Bank of England expert has said. Helen McCaw, who served as a senior analyst for the financial security at the UK Central Bank, has written to Andrew Bailey, the Bank of England's governor, urging him to set out contingencies in case the White House ever confirmed the existence of alien life, according to the Times. Miss McCaw, who worked for the Bank of England for 10 years until 2012, said politicians and bankers can no longer afford to dismiss the talk of alien life, and warned a declaration of this nature could trigger bank collapse. This is something that we touched upon recently. I actually think the people at the top of the food chain already know about ETs, UFOs, NHI, and I fully expect something to be happening soon. It would be wise to take note of what the whistleblowers are saying as well. But also, if you really need the hard evidence, look at what's out there already. And that's what we're going to do on this video. We're going to look at what's out there already. It's always worth looking at. And some things can be explained and some things really can't. And there's quite a few of these things that can't be explained that are racking up now. So we're going to look at it in more detail, but before we do, we're going to look into the Doomsday Clock. Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, okay? It's a group of scientists. They look at nuclear risk, climate change, disruptive technologies, biosecurity, current warfare, you know, the current situation. They put it all together, guys, with the probabilities here and the probabilities there, and they give you an estimated time in which bad stuff is expected to happen, supposedly. Okay, that's how people read the Doomsday Clock, right? Last year it was 90 seconds to midnight, and it's just been announced here it is now 85 seconds to midnight. On January 27th, 2026, the Doomsday Clock was set to 85 seconds to midnight, the closest the clock has ever been to midnight in its history. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, Science and Security Board, SASB, which sets the clock, called for urgent action to limit nuclear arsenals, create international guidelines on the use of AI, and form multilateral agreements to address global biological threats. Indeed, there are a lot of different threats, and these guys pick up on all of them. They lay them all out there, like I said. They built this clock, and they're saying we're 85 seconds towards midnight, which sounds pretty doom and gloom considering this is the Doomsday Clock, right? But I read something today on X, which Skywatch Signal put together, and I thought it was bang on the money, to be honest with you. I want to take you through it all. It's quite a read, guys. All right, so here we are, over to X, and Skywatch Signal says this. 85 seconds to midnight, why the Doomsday Clock isn't moving anymore. When the Doomsday Clock is set to 85 seconds to midnight, most of the coverage focused on the number, the closest ever, tighter than the Cold War, a new record. That reaction totally misses the point. The number itself is almost irrelevant. What really matters is that the clock has entered a zone where it barely moves at all. And this is key, guys, this is key. The Doomsday Clock was created in 1947 by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, a group formed by physicists who understood firsthand what happens when scientific capability outruns political restraint. From the very beginning, the clock was never intended to forecast a specific disaster. It was designed to reflect how much of a margin for error humanity had left. That margin has thinned to the point where incremental shifts no longer convey change. Actually, we are no longer approaching danger. We are operating inside the danger, guys. It's very true. Look at all the wars. Look at COVID. Look at all the crap they put in our food. We literally put ourselves in a position where it's not safe, but we learn to live in this not safe environment. And it's crazy. Normally, in the name of money and greed, right, the people at the top push all of this on us, and they make it so. And this is what the Doomsday Clock actually represents. It represents how life has been led by the ones at the top. This is not what Skywatch Signal is saying, but he probably agrees with me. But this is what I'm saying, how we actually got to this point. In earlier decades, the clock moved in minutes. Treaties were signed, channels were opened, weapons were limited, verified and often dismantled. When tensions rose, the clock moved forward. When stabilising mechanisms appeared, it moved back. That rhythm has seriously broken down. The current settings reflect a world where stabilisers are eroding faster than new ones can be built. And for anyone who doesn't realise what we're saying here, we're saying that we can make holes quicker than we can put plasters on them. And what's happening is there's so many holes and not enough plasters, we just can't fix the situation unless we just stop and work out where these holes are coming from. Right now, those holes are just coming out every 5 seconds, plasters are going on every 10. And what we're left with is existence in a dangerous environment. That's exactly what we're left with, guys. Nuclear risk, as always, sits at the centre of that reality, but not in a way most people would imagine. The danger today isn't a deliberate first strike driven by ideology, it's ambiguity, fewer treaties and fewer verification regimes, shorter decision windows and more reliance on automated analysis and early warning systems that compress human judgment into minutes. The technical capacity to respond now far outpaces the political capacity to interpret what's going on. And so things are happening before decisions are even made by us. You know, crazy stuff is going on. Command and control systems are no longer insulated from cyber intrusion and software failure. The number of actors with strategic weapons have grown, while shared assumptions about restraint have weakened. This is not structured standoff of a Cold War. It is a looser, way noisier environment where miscalculation carries more weight than intent. Again, to simplify what that means, if you put something a certain way because it has protocol to go that way, it has to go that way in order for it to work, right? So it could be anything, but there's a protocol behind it. And what he's saying here is some systems implemented in our society have cut corners, and those corners that have been cut have implications down the line that we are simply ignoring. And you can use that for anything, okay? There are corners being cut everywhere, things aren't being done properly, and the implications are just ongoing. They're just ongoing because they're not being seen to, and if they are, they're there for a reason. But they're not good implications, guys, that's the point. Climate instability feeds directly into that risk also, not as a separate catastrophe, but as a persistent stressor. Drought, food insecurity, infrastructure failure, and mass displacement place pressure on governments already struggling to manage internal cohesion. Fragile systems fracture more easily under external shock. Emerging technologies have added another layer of compression. Artificial intelligence has already embedded the intelligence analysis, targeting support, cyber operations, and information warfare. These systems accelerate decision making without offering total clarity or discussion for that matter. When opaque tools influence high-stake judgments, error propagates faster than accountability, and that should be a worry for everyone. And look, is right, influence high-stake judgments, error propagates faster than accountability. Let's just give you an example, okay? Just throwing this out there. If ISIS was created, okay, let's say terrorism was created, because let's be honest, what brings someone to blow them? I'm not going to get political here, right? But what brings a man or a woman to blow themselves up? Something's happened to them, whether it be manipulation, whether it be they've lost their family, they want revenge, whatever it is. Something extreme has happened to them in order for them to want to take innocent lives elsewhere, okay, to take revenge, whatever it might be. If that is created in the human mind and then left, that will be a danger moving forward for other people elsewhere. Yeah, it's as simple as that. You can't create something with bad intentions and expect no repercussion. It just doesn't make sense. But yet we live in a world that's like that. It's just craziness. The main concern isn't machine autonomy in the abstract. It's the delegation resulting in the authorities sliding towards systems that operate at speeds and scales human oversight cannot easily match. Once acceleration becomes normalized, restraint becomes all that much harder to reintroduce. Overall, all this with a breakdown in international coordination, trust between major powers is thin right now. We all feel it. Multilateral institutions are at best weakened. Crisis communication channels exist, but they are weak. Even basic agreement on shared facts is contested, eroded by disinformation and strategic ambiguity. The Doomsday Clock reflects not just the presence of threats, but the condition of systems meant to manage them. Right now, the tools capable of causing irreversible harm are stronger than the mechanisms designed to prevent it. So that's exactly why the clock has slowed to a crawl near midnight, guys. There is very little symbolic space left to occupy. Further movement would stop the conveying new information. The message has already been delivered. At 85 seconds, the clock signals a sustained condition rather than a moment of crisis. A world where escalation pathways ramp up way faster than correction pathways. A world where risk compounds rather than resolves. So how close are we to midnight, guys? Honestly, and Skywatch Signal says it right here. That really shouldn't be a question. How close are we? We should be trying to reverse the clock, not trying to work out how close we are. And if we can get there, we should just be trying to reverse the clock. And that's the whole point, guys. That's the whole point of me discussing this whole topic with you regarding the Doomsday Clock. Don't let them try and scare you with this. When they say that they're 85 seconds to midnight, because they were 90 seconds last year, and next year that will probably mean they're 80 seconds, right? And then 75 and then 70. It's going to be a long process. The issue that people need to realise is we are living in that danger zone right now, and that world leaders are not trying to pull us out of it. If anything, they're trying to safeguard. More resources, more military, more funding, more this, more that, whilst the world still struggle with clean water, food, shelter, energy. It's just craziness. So we fix those issues and the Doomsday Clock goes the other way. And that's kind of what we want scientists to turn around to us in a year or two and say, you know what, the clock's gone back the other way because we're doing things the right way. And that's the goal, guys. That's the goal. Thank you very much, Skywatch Signal, and apologies for all the babbling. Okay, breaking. Truth Poll says this. January 28th, a bright unidentified object was reported over Barkshire, England yesterday. Low clouds, heavy haze, yet an object remained sharply luminous while surrounding lights diffused. Witnesses say it held position longer than aircraft. No visible navigation pattern, no obvious ascent or descent. Fog amplifies normal light, but it also exposes movement. This one stayed fixed. Isolated clip on its own means little, but when similar reports stack across the UK under the weather conditions, it raises familiar questions. What stays visible then everything else blurs? Well, let's have a look.
Wait, what is that? What is that?
No, you got no hope filming in that, man.
No, honestly, what is that? Wait, what is that? What is that?
You don't say too much other than what is that, what is that, what is that? Does look a bit bright for a plane because there's no flickering. It's just a solid light moving through the sky. Yeah, don't know. Couldn't hear a helicopter when the volume was on. Seems to speed up there. Let's just watch that one more time. Does it go slow? And then as it clears the cloud a little bit, it goes. It's hard to tell. It's definitely going from right to left and then all of a sudden, wow. It does kind of look like it's going in at a funny angle, doesn't it? See how it looks like it's going left to right there? Then it dips down a little bit here. And then now it looks like it's going at about 1 o'clock, say, from him. Strange. Looks like it dips down a little bit there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Looks like they're outside of Waitrose. I'm not too sure what part of Berkshire this is. Could be a Waitrose. Definitely looks like a UK street to me. Very, very foggy. And like I said, I grew up around here 25 years in the Berkshire area, so it'd be interested to know where it is. Cool sighting in my opinion. I'm not too sure what else it could be. The only other thing it might look like is a comet, but the movement doesn't portray comet. The speed looks like, I mean, it looks like it changes direction almost. If it doesn't change direction, it's sped up there. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Let me know, guys. What do you think? All right, so we're going to leave it there, guys. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments on all of it. It's not all about doom and gloom. Well, it is. I mean, it's the Doomsday Clock. But at the same time, what they're saying is, guys, 85 seconds to midnight doesn't mean that we're about to die tomorrow. It just means that we're not in a good place. And actually, we're living in the hellhole that we're creating for ourselves, guys. Not you and me, the ones that we're voting for, right? The ones that are in charge. So maybe we can portray that message and maybe do something about it. Who knows? But like always, guys, like and subscribe. Keep the evidence coming in. UndercoverETUK@gmail.com. Get your cameras in the skies. Hoping for a bit of snow towards the first week of February, towards the end of the first week of February. But we don't know yet. It's a little bit way away. But hopefully the cold air does meet the warm air and we do get a snow day or two. I want to capture another snow UAP and maybe get something a little bit more compelling as well for you guys. With all that said, thank you so much. Have a great weekend ahead and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.